Okay, continuation of the interview. I think last time we left, you were discussing growing up in Norristown, and you were kind of around grade school, finishing up high school. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you were doing in your teenage years and then starting college?
Are you all set?
Yep.
The big activity I was involved in was Boy Scouts. We had a nice Boy Scout troop and a scoutmaster who was a professional engineer, but also he was a naturalist. It was Sam McCracken. And so we went on pretty good hikes, and he could identify all the trees and shrubbery and birds. So
Did
it
you go
was,
on any field trips pretty far from your house? Like, did
oh yeah,
you
we went on camping trips.
like
I'll tell you,
Appalachians or something?
you know, this came a little later. The Boy Scouts were the younger groups from about 6 to about 12. But later on, we have what's called the Pioneer Senior Boy Scouts. And then I got reactive in that. And so we would go on long hikes. Uh, Several of us made a hike up up to join the Appalachian Trail. That was about 3 or 4 days hike up there and back. And then we had a camp where I was served. I was a summer from university, so I served as a counselor at this Camp Delmont, a Boy Scout camp. At the end of that camp, the director of the camp lived up in New Hampshire, so about 4 of us drove back to New Hampshire with him, and then we hiked up Mount Washington, and then up in the Green Mountains. So this was Mount Washington was the highest mountain up in the Northeast. So we had heard about a big high mountain, and so we had our packs on our back and sleep out overnight. So we spent a whole day and a half hiking up Crawford Notch up to the summit of Mount Washington. We thought we'd have really explored things like arriving at the top of Mount Everest and all that. So as we come near the top, we started listening. And I think I hear cars. Where's it? Here there is a road up there. Your cars were driving up there to where we had struggled up on foot to get up there. So it was quite a summit to get up there. It was up above Timberline, and so we camped out up there. And they have a couple of lakes up there, small lakes. They call it Lake of the Clouds. So we camped out beside there, and during the night some of us couldn't sleep, so we decided to take a swim in there. It was just ice cold water, so we didn't stay in very long. Then the next day it poured down rain everywhere, all soaked and wet. So we hiked. We arrived at a motel and checked in. The guy cleaned up and dried out our.
What level of Boy Scout did you make it to?
Oh, I was up. It was what was called a Life Scout. I didn't quite get to the final position, because to do that you had to have a life-saving merit badge. I wasn't all that good a swimmer. I could get along, but I wasn't good enough to pass the requirements to become the final position. But at the time I was at the university and got involved in other things, and so that was the end of the Boy Scout.
Tell the story about the fire starting competition with the flint. I like that one.
Oh yeah, that was this scoutmaster was quite innovative. The region we were in would have competitions among the various troops to see who could start a fire and burn a string. And so a string would be attached, and you'd have to use flint and steel and tinder and start a fire, and then build a fire underneath that string to burn it. Boy Scouts furnished a flint and steel kit, and so it was just a little piece of steel, a little bit piece of flint, tick, 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 tick. So, so what he did was we got a hard steel instead of just a little piece with big flint, a big flint hammer, and then the flint itself was a big ball there, which would put that in the cold steel in the oven, warm it up, and then we'd have the flint, and when we strike that, it, wham, a great big spark would go flying off. These other guys tick, 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 tick. And then the fire, we had it already ranged in a basket with a tinder all ranged in there, and as soon as that spark got in there, we put it in there and blaze up there. We burned the string, and just a minute or so, and these other guys were still tick, 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 tick.
No, that wasn't cheating though.
Yeah, so someone thought that was not being honest, being unfair.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stop right now.